Hi, I'm Rosenan. We're here today with Cleo Diorio, a dance and theater artist. Let's find out more on Studio Space.
A lot of the dances that I do, they come from a place of knowing your body and learning about your body. Every time you dance, it should be a new experience. You should discover something new about yourself.
Cleo, thank you for inviting us here. Could you tell us more about this space and how you became involved with it?
So right now we are in the MIME studio at Del Arte International School of Physical Theater. I moved to California to pursue my master's degree here at Del Arte, and then actually worked as a production manager here, and am actually going to be teaching some dance classes here coming in the fall. So this space is very near and dear to my heart. It fostered part of my education and my artistic life.
What made you decide to choose Del Arte in general?
When I was graduating from college, I was studying theater and dance. I have a degree in directing and choreography. And I was having a really hard time deciding whether to go to grad school for dance or for theater. And when you look at grad programs, there's a distinct separation. And so when I found this program, this physical theater program, it was the melding of the two worlds. And it really felt at home to me. So when I visited, I auditioned and was accepted on the spot. And so it was an easy choice. I just felt that this was very obviously my next move.
So what turned you on to dance instead of just straight acting?
That's a great question. I would say it's that I've always felt connected to music and to the body. There's a lot that we can do with our bodies that communicate story, right? So by studying theater and dance, I was able to learn what that middle ground is. And then I came to Del Arte, where they teach that middle ground exactly. Right, so I live in that place of, as a dancer, I'm a theater artist, and as a theater artist, I'm a dancer, right? So I don't find them separate at all.
How would you describe your style?
My style is ever-changing, but I would say that it's rooted in free flow. So the way that I like to engage with movement is with an open mind and with a free flowing just energy, I would say.
What have you discovered about yourself through dance?
I would say that I don't really know who I am without being a mover, right? So everything I am today has been influenced by my experiences in dance and theater. I would say that, as a child, I was actually very shy. I wasn't very confident. I was very self-conscious of my body. And through working in theater and in dance, you gain confidence and you learn that everyone is special and different and can provide different things for the world. Pretty recently, I choreographed a piece called Imprints. It was in collaboration with 2 other choreographers and dancers. We choreographed the piece together and then danced it ourselves. And it is about violence against women in the United States. And again, it was very similar in a way that it's something people don't want to talk about, but it opens the space for us to talk about it. That we actually were able to perform that at high schools, which seems very strange or maybe even a little intense. right? To bring a piece about violence against women and violence in the home to high school students. But it was very well received. And it really made me think that, these teenagers, they're completely ready to talk about things like this. And if we can get them to talk about it now, then maybe they'll have better lives because of it.
Right. It's interesting how much the younger generation is just ready for open communication and just sharing stories.
And every time we perform, it is accompanied by a talk back because it's a very intense experience. So people always stay after to have conversations about, what happened on stage and what happened in their lives and things like that.
Right. Creating that space.
Exactly.
I understand that you have an alter ego. Could you tell us more about Betty?
Yes. Betty Boop is, obviously not a character that I created. Betty Boop is a character that many of us know. I started embodying her when I was in my second year of my master's program at Del Arte. And it actually all came from one of my friends. She approached me and she was like, Cleo, you need to be Betty Boop for like a cabaret or something. Like, I just see it. You look like her, like it would be so fun. And I was like, okay, like I can do something with that. And so I bought a costume. I bought a corset and a little black skirt and a wig. And I got in the rehearsal room and I was like, wow, I do look like her. This is kind of weird. And so I started trying to figure out what I could do as Betty, right? What could Betty do on stage that is me, right? That is something that I can bring to Betty. And so I rehearsed this song. I play the ukulele. I play a few instruments, but so I rehearsed this song on the ukulele, and I choreographed a little Charleston dance because, Betty was in the 30s, and so I was like, how can I bring the dance of that era to this character? So I had this song and I had this dance, and we go into the dress rehearsal for this cabaret. And I was like, I don't know what I'm doing. And I really didn't think much was gonna come of it, but people just loved her. Like, they were cheering, they were like, you could hear people cooing in the audience. It was like one of the craziest experiences I've ever had as a performer. And she's still around. Betty can pop out at any time. Yeah.
Could you show us how you prepare yourself for these dances and performances?
Sure.
There's a piece that you will be performing for us today. Could you tell us a little bit more about that?
It is actually the piece that I used to audition for Del Arte. And so what it is there's no title. There's a lot of sometimes improvisatory feeling movement. And sometimes it is improv, and sometimes it's what I've choreographed, but it feels different. So there are many pieces that create this solo of mine.
It's a mosaic of performances.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, some of my favorite parts of little pieces all along my life.
Well, we're looking forward to seeing it. Thank you.
Thank you.